Hello everyone and welcome. If you've ever been curious about commitment-based discounts in the cloud industry, you've come to the right place. Today, we are diving deep into what these discounts truly entail, their operational dynamics, and the nitty-gritty details surrounding them. We'll be leaning on official data from the giants of cloud services, AWS, Azure, and GCP. Just a quick note, we won't be touching upon any private deals or third-party pricing in this video. Let's get started. As cloud service companies have grown and evolved, they have started to offer more than just the basic pay-for-what-you-use deals. Nowadays, these companies provide different plans to get customers to use more of their services. In return, they give huge discounts, sometimes up to 75% off the regular price, while there are special deals that can be made in private with these companies. This video focuses on the standard plans provided by the three biggest players in the cloud industry. We'll refer to these plans as commitment-based discounts or CB discounts. These discounts depend on the cloud service provider and what you are using from them. You can commit in different ways. Spend-based commitments. Here, you are promising to spend a certain amount of money with them. In return, you get a discount. Examples are the savings plan from Amazon Web Services and Microsoft Azure, and the flexible committed use discount from Google Cloud Platform. Resource-based commitments. This means you are agreeing to use a certain amount of their services. In exchange, you get a discount. Common ones include the reservation plan from AWS and Azure and the committed use discount from GCP. Each cloud provider has their own set of rules for these discounts. You can track and manage these discounts directly on their platforms. It's crucial to understand each offer fully to make the most of these commitment-based discounts. These discounts are essential tools for companies looking to get the most bang for their buck when using cloud services. Cloud companies like Amazon Web Services or Google Cloud Platform build big centers filled with servers. They then let customers use these servers, charging them for every second, minute, or hour they do. But these cloud companies face a problem. Sometimes they might have too many servers sitting idle, or too few to meet demand. This uncertainty gets factored into the prices customers pay. This is where commitment-based discounts come in. These discounts help cloud companies ensure they have a steady stream of income, while also letting customers pay less if they promise to use a certain amount of services. The more specific the promise, the bigger the discount. Think of CB discounts as a tool for businesses to save money by predicting their future needs. If a company knows they'll need a certain server type a lot, they can get a discount for committing to it. To understand how this affects the overall cost, remember this formula. Cloud spend equals usage on rate. While usage is about how much of a service you use, rate is the price of that service. Commitment-based discounts allow companies to get a better rate for services they use a lot. However, it's crucial to know that these discounts aren't applied to just any specific server or service you use. Instead, the cloud company adds them as part of a larger billing process. The way these discounts are applied can vary based on the cloud company and the kind of commitment. For detailed differences between cloud providers, refer to the comparison matrix. The link will be in the description of the video. When deciding to buy a commitment-based discount, you are essentially managing the company's money. Thus, it's vital to think of the bigger picture. How are different teams in the company planning to use the cloud? Will their needs change over time? These are important things to understand before and after getting a CB discount. Committing to these discounts usually means locking in for 1 or 3 years. This can be risky. For instance, you might end up paying for more than you need or not enough. A major issue many face is paying for services they don't fully utilize. The risk appetite of your organization will guide your purchasing decisions. To estimate the financial risk of unused services, use this formula. Total risk equals dollar per hour committed on total hours committed. This shows you the money you might waste if you don't use the services you've paid for. To handle this risk, you might commit to a smaller portion of services, lock in for a shorter period, go for discounts that offer more flexibility even if they save you less money. Balancing commitments. Duration. Usually, you have to commit for 1 or 3 years. Opting for 3 years often gives bigger discounts, but it locks your funds in for longer. Specificity. The more specific your commitment, like choosing a particular server type, the bigger the discount. But this can be risky as your technical needs might change. Flexible options like savings plans or flexible cards can reduce this risk. Check the CSP discount matrix to see all your choices. Existing contracts. Don't forget about other agreements your organization might have. For instance, if you've promised to spend a minimum amount with a cloud provider, a big discount might cause you to spend less than required. Also, think about how long-term commitments might affect other deals or contracts your organization has. Committing to long-term deals can have a big impact on a company's finances. These commitments might use up a significant portion of the money the company has available for future investments. Remember, even if you are paying for the commitment in monthly installments, that's still money you can't use elsewhere. It's also crucial to consider the flexibility of these commitments. Are you able to change or transfer them if your business needs change? For some companies, these long-term commitments are treated like major purchases or capital expenses. This means they don't just affect the monthly budget. They impact the overall financial health of the company. It's essential to have a strong partnership with the finance and accounting teams. They can help you understand the real costs of these commitments and the long-term implications of dedicating funds of them. When buying commitment-based discounts, it's crucial to choose the right time. Here are some things to consider. Annual alignment. Are there specific times during the year when it makes more sense for your organization to commit? Term preference. How long do you want to commit for? Here are a couple of points to guide your decision. Is your organization frequently changing its tech setup? If so, can you predict these changes accurately to justify a longer-term commitment? Does your budget cycle have specific periods that are better suited for such decisions? Buying patterns. Does your company prefer making several small commitments or a few larger ones? Understanding your organization's financial strategy can guide this decision. Other considerations. As your approach to commitment-based discounts matures, from crawl to walk to run, it will depend on your organization's overall FinOps maturity. For beginners, if your organization is still getting the hang of tracking resource usage, it might be wiser to focus on covering a large portion of workloads. This can provide immediate savings, even if the discounts aren't maximized. For advanced users, for organizations that have a deep insight into their resource usage, they can be more precise. This means they can target specific commitments and grab the best discount percentages. The key is to align your strategy with your organization's current capability and adjust as you grow and learn more about your resource usage. In short, effective purchase decisions require clear communication, stakeholder involvement, and understanding of downstream impacts. How well can my organization forecast usage and utilization? Organizations can spend endless cycles optimizing their cloud consumption, constantly chasing the changes in their cloud environments. Consider your organization's ability to measure usage and capacity. Making commitments with little ability to measure these areas risks overcommitting resources. However, waiting until the extensive analysis is accurate and 100% optimized wasted potential savings over time. How much time will I need to dedicate to CB discount management? Well, think of managing CB discounts as potentially a full-time gig, especially if your organization is pretty sizable. But hey, don't bite off more than you can chew. It's all about finding that sweet spot between how much effort you put in and the savings you can reap. If FinOps resources are limited, you may consider outsourcing CB discount management through third-party tooling. Many FinOps teams will also attempt to use open-source tooling or build their own automated management methods. Once you buy in, remember that commitment-based discounts need a regular and adjustable buying approach. Think about how you'll keep track of these discounts and what you'll do when they end. Using the skills we talked about before, team up across different departments. This will help with regular buying and make sure everyone knows what's going on. Next, we'll go over some basic ideas to help shape your plan. At a high level, here is a timeline of actions taken throughout the lifetime of a CB discount. Identify need for a rate optimization. Compile proposals for types of commitment-based discount and associated details. Iterate with stakeholders and fine-tune technical considerations. Receive approval from approvers and purchase. Monitor workload coverage, commitment utilization, communicate costs and usage data. Before expiration, evaluate a renewal with stakeholders by returning to step 2. Commitment break-even point. BEP is when you've saved enough money using a CB discount to cover its entire cost. This includes any upfront fees and regular charges. How fast you reach this point depends on the discount amount and how often you use it. After hitting the break-even point, the CB discount has paid for itself. This means you won't lose money on it, no matter how you use it afterward. So far, we've kept our discussion general, not favoring any particular vendor. Now, we are going to delve into the unique features and terms used by 3 major cloud service providers. For each CSP, we'll cover commitment-based discount nuances. This will address the specific things to consider when buying or managing these discounts with the given CSP. Terminology nuances. Since each provider might use slightly different language, this section will highlight those distinctions. We'll look at how each CSP might use common terms differently and how they implement them. AWS offers multiple commitment options that cover various products. Compute savings plans. Discounts are applicable for EC2, Fargate, and Lambda compute types. High discounted usage types get benefits first. These are set for a fixed term. EC2 instance savings plans. Specifically for EC2 usage, offers the most significant savings when committing to certain instance families in a specific region. SageMaker savings plans. Designed for SageMaker usage. These discounts automatically apply to various SageMaker ML instance usages. It doesn't matter the instance family, size, or region. Reserved instances. Provides a set discount for a particular resource. You'll get this discount whether or not the resource is used, and it's set for a specific term. Upfront commitments. Upfront commitments will incur a one-time increase in premium support for the account the commitment is purchased, rather than incurring the charges over the lifetime of the reservation. Availability. AWS reservations and dedicated hosts are region-specific. They need to be bought for a particular region and are only effective there. AWS savings plans are global. They aren't restricted to a specific region and are applied across AWS's worldwide infrastructure. Utilization. Whether you use a reservation or savings plan, you'll still pay for it. AWS reservations align with specified details like instance type, region, engine, license type, and edition. Some reservations have size flexibility, allowing them to cater to instances within the same family. Discount scope. Both reservations and savings plans can encompass multiple subsidiary accounts under one main payer account, provided the functionality is activated. Discount method application. AWS handles commitment-based discounts automatically. Users can't manually intervene. AWS's system prioritizes reservations first, followed by savings plans from the highest to the lowest savings percentage. The default settings enables sharing discounts across accounts within an organizational structure. Payment options. 3 options exist for reservations and savings plans: all upfront, portion upfront, and no upfront. Each influences cash flow and savings differently. All upfront. Pay for the entire commitment upfront and benefit from the highest savings percentage. Partial upfront. Pay part of the commitment, at least 50% upfront, and the rest is divided into monthly payments over the commitment period. It offers a somewhat lower savings percentage than the all upfront option. No upfront. Pay nothing initially and settle the commitment with monthly payments throughout its duration. This option has the least savings percentage compared to the others. Reservations apply to specific VM series and are inherently more specifically scoped than savings plans. As such, reservations are always applied before savings plans. If a resource could be covered by multiple reservations, it will first apply to the most specifically scoped reservations. If a resource could be covered by a reservation scoped to its resource group and a separate reservation to its subscription, it will first use the reservation scoped to the resource group, since it's more specific. Note: this may result in suboptimal savings if you have more specific reservations with lower discounts than the more generalized reservations. For organizations with multiple reservations scoped to various levels — resources, resource groups, subscriptions, shared — it's advisable to understand the reservation application logic to ensure you receive the maximum benefit. Reservations are reflected in the billing data and Azure Cost Management about 24 hours after utilization. After reservations are applied, Azure applies discounts from savings plans. Unlike reservations, savings plans are applied based on the maximum discount available, not based on scope specificity. Azure automatically applies the savings plans to the VMs in order of the highest discount percentage from on-demand to the lowest. Due to the complexity of the application logic, savings plans take from 48 to 72 hours to reflect in the billing data and Azure Cost Management. Azure combines VMs using Windows licenses into a single stock-keeping unit when they are used on demand, without a reservation. If they use a reservation, the SKU for the machine is separated in the billing data and the Windows OS license is billed separately. Azure terminology nuances. Availability, region, for example, South Central. Discount scope, type, shared. Reservations are applied at the highest level and span across multiple subscriptions and resource groups. Management group single subscription. Reservations specific to a single subscription under a management group. Single resource group. Reservations applied to a specific resource group. Region. Again, this refers to where your reservation will be applied. Family. Refers to the VM family type, which dictates the kind of workload they are best suited for. Each family has a unique blend of CPU, memory, and storage capabilities. Instance flexibility. Groups same family of different CPU options together. Reservation terms. Azure offers either 1-year or 3-year options for reservations. Payment options. All upfront. As the name suggests, you pay for the entire reservation term upfront. Notably, Azure doesn't offer extra discounts for this upfront payment. Monthly payments. You pay for your Azure reservation in monthly installments over the term of the reservation. GCP terminology and nuances. Committed use discounts, CUDs. These are contractual agreements where customers commit to using certain GCP services like Compute Engine or Cloud Bigtable for an extended period, typically 1 or 3 years. The benefit is a reduced rate compared to pay-as-you-go pricing. Sustained Use Discounts, SADs. SADs are automatic discounts given to customers who use specific GCP resources extensively within a month. The rate of discount escalates with more consistent use of the resource. Compute Engine Flexible Committed Use Discounts. Functionally similar to AWS's savings plans. Customers commit to a certain payment level instead of tying themselves to specific resource types. Discount scope. CUDs are tied to the specific project or projects associated with the commitment. It's vital to ensure that the resources are used within the defined project to get the discount. Order of application. First, CUDs are applied, then flex CUDs. Lastly, if resources are running on demand and are eligible for CUDs but not CUDs have been applied, SADs are applied. Payment structure. Unlike AWS or Azure, GCP has only a monthly payment model for CUDs and flex CUDs. No options for partial or all upfront payments exist. Discount application. By default, sharing of these discounts is disabled. However, it can be enabled across all projects within a billing account. Discounts can be attributed in several ways: FIFO, proportional, or a custom prioritized method. FIFO uses the discounted resources until the commitment is fully consumed. Proportional discounts are attributed based on the proportion of resources consumed by each project. Prioritized uses custom rules to apply discounts to specific projects. In today's cloud-centric world, navigating the intricacies of commitment-based discounts can make a significant difference to your bottom line. By understanding the nuances across AWS, Azure, and GCP, businesses can leverage these platforms more cost-effectively and strategically. Remember, knowledge is power, and in this context, it's also savings. So, always stay updated, make informed decisions, and ensure you are maximizing your cloud investment. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insightful content.